Hey everyone, I just wanted to do a walkthrough of the new Schedule E Organizer. If you are seeing the video first and don't yet have this organizer, it is available for download at colotax.com. If you've downloaded this organizer, good job hopping over here to check out the instructions. This is quick and easy, and hopefully this will really help you guys keep your business organized. So the first place you're going to want to go is this rental setup tab. On this tab, you just enter in the address for each of your properties. And doing that, let's see, we'll call this Test Avenue. This is going to be in Testville, Montana, 11111. So you would go through here and enter in each property. As you do this, it's going to increase the number of rentals you have here, and this is going to flow through so that on each month and then on your year to date, it's going to display those addresses. So step one, come in here, set up to 10 rentals. If you have more than 10, just use two different versions of this spreadsheet. Next tab over, the expense guide sheet. So guys, I get asked a lot, what can I deduct? What categories? How do I organize them? So these are the most common categories of expenses. This is what your tax professional is going to use on your taxes. So these are the categories that you want to break the expenses into. And then over to the right, here are some examples of things you would put in those categories. So cleaning and maintenance, if you buy cleaners, if you pay for power washing, you do any small maintenance on the property, paint touch-ups, light bulbs, all those things. If you have expenses that aren't on this list, use this list as a guide and figure out what category they best fit in and put them there. So the way this organizer is designed, it is made for you to go through month by month and enter in the numbers for each of your rental properties so that come year end, you're not, scrabbling together at the last minute to get everything figured out. So let's say in here we've got our two rentals, this one and this one here, they've got their two rents there, a couple expenses down here. Okay, we've got some interest. And then you'll notice down here, you actually cannot enter those. So these are going to come in from another area. I'll show you that later. Same thing with your repairs. You cannot enter those directly on this sheet. So we are going to come back and show you where to enter those. But so you're going to just enter your normal monthly expenses here. And if you scroll down, you'll notice here, it is going to tell you whether you have income or a loss. So let's say this one only had a little bit less expenses here. So then you'll scroll down here and you'll see whether you're in the green or the red for the month and your overall income for your properties. Now this will be a little different than what will be on your taxes because this doesn't take into account depreciation. If you put your entire mortgage interest payment here, like the entire payment with principal and interest versus just the interest amount, it's going to show you more of your cash flow versus your taxable income, and that's fine too. Your accountant will adjust that based on your 1098 at year end, but just let them know what you have here. But yeah, so you're just going to come in here each month and enter what you paid. So that should be pretty straightforward. It'll let you do it for every property. It's going to show you the totals. Then you've also got a tab here for the repairs. The reason we separate this out is there are a lot of missed deductions that come to this category. So if you're doing some small repairs, big repairs, renovations, there's certain things we can almost always separate out. These categories here, these are things we can almost always expense all at once. So let's say you spend $5,000 on some appliances, $200 on blinds. This house was painted, that cost $800. And this one got some new light fixtures also, $1,200. So all of those expenses there are going to carry through over to here to that repairs tab because those are all renovations or repairs that we can most likely expense at once. Same thing with the de minimis safe harbor. This says anything under $2,500, you can likely deduct it. So let's say you had a hot water heater and that cost you $2,450 on that property. On this one here, let's say you put in a new closet system, and that was $1,800. Okay, so we've got it tracked for each property, and then when we come back to January, same thing. It's going to increase your repairs by those deductible amounts. So you're not, again, shuffling at the end of the year to figure out what went into all. Now what you're going to put down here are your bigger renovations, right? So if you did a new roof for $15,000. That's not going to come over here to your January repairs amount because that is likely an item we need to capitalize. So this sheet will really help you month to month as you're incurring repairs, split them out into these 3 categories. This is going to help make sure that the amount you get to deduct relative to how much gets capitalized and depreciated over all those years, that you get to maximize this. So go ahead and separate out those categories, and that is going to flow through to the month. We've also got this business expense tab. So this tab is designed to be filled out at the end of the year because most of these are kind of monthly incurring expenses. They're sort of shared with personal. So in this tab, you're going to put any expenses. These are all things that are deductible or a portion will be, and they relate to your business. But if you've got multiple rentals, we would take these costs and split them across your rentals. Because like if you use software, say you pay for QuickBooks and you also paid for some books throughout the year, this is how much you averaged each month. This is at the end of the year, you found out you spent $250 on Amazon buying books, you bought some software. Then we can come in here in this bottom section, these categories you can't edit, that's where they come through. So these are your general business expenses. The sheet is automatically going to take the totals and split them between however many properties you have. So in this case, it divided it by 2, split them between your 2 rentals. If you had 10, it would have divided it by 10. So again, this sheet here, at the end of the year, just enter in those kind of general expenses that don't connect directly to a property. So you're going to go through and you're just going to do that for every month. You're going to enter your rental income and expenses. You're going to break out your repairs. And then the beauty of this is you're ticking along at this, and then the end of the year is here. Your friends are all scrambling to get their receipts. Boom. Right here, this is going to sum together all of these totals. So let's put another month in here too, just so we can see. Right, so we've got some more rent, we've got some more expenses, all of this good stuff. So at the end of the year, that all adds together, and it's going to show you your total monthly income or annual income for each property. It's going to show you your annual expenses for each property, those allocated portions, and then down here, whether each property is at a loss or has income. So this is perfect. You can give this to your tax professional. They'll be able to do your taxes based on this. Year-to-date repairs, like I said, this information is really going to help them. The more detail you get with renovations, the more we can really decide if there is a rule, whether it is just a de minimis amount or just the tangible property regs, if we can use bonus depreciation, if there's some tax rule that we can use to expense these items instead of having to add them to the value of the building and depreciate it over 27 years. So this should be really helpful for you guys. This should help you track everything month to month, see which properties are making money or losing money. And then come year end, it should give you that big picture and you can just hand this over to your tax professional. So thanks for listening. I hope you found this instruction video helpful and I hope you enjoy the organizer. If you have any feedback or questions, I would love to hear from you. Thanks so much.